All right, we're back here on the party,
Yes,
and speaking of Matthew Hare,
Yep.
we are here joined by Matthew Hare. Here joined by Matthew Hare.
What a
Wow, that's pretty good.
surprise!
That's a pretty good intro. Welcome, Matthew,
Thank you for having me.
and welcome Matthew's guests, Matthew's own party crew, I guess you could say.
I'm taking over.
We have Ian Foster and Jerry Stamp here. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks. Can you hear us okay? We're bluegrassing this mic here, and that means we're sharing it in case anyone else is worse.
I was like Stevie Van Zanting the mic.
All right.
Really?
Yeah, okay.
Well, I guess, yeah.
Except that I don't have a band down.
Sorry.
So, how's it going?
Yeah.
Everything's going great, actually. I figured I'd pop on here. I saw a bunch of great people coming on here. I listened last week with Brian Gass, I guess it was. And
Yeah.
just figured we'd come on here and have a chat with you guys and promote the record and that kind of thing.
Cool. So, do you want to talk a bit about your record?
It was actually released about a year ago, I guess.
Okay.
Recorded it with these two gentlemen here, with Jerry and Ian at Ian's studio, and kind of came about when we were all just sitting around and was trying to figure out exactly how to do the record. And I knew their work fairly well, and respected their work, so I knew what they were capable of. So we kind of sat around and went, we could just do this together essentially, and it seemed like a great fit at the time, and it was awesome.
Not now.
You like my
So much
you like,
changed
You like my
over
choice of
time.
words? Listen, once we got into the room, things got dark. All right, I'm just not. Yeah, it took a turn for the worse, but I think it all came out all right in the end. We got through the dark days.
So, I guess you could say this time last year.
I was trying not to make that pun so bad, and it's so hard when I'm talking about it at this point in time. It's just like, did you put out a record? Oh yeah, I put it out a year ago. I know, it's okay. You can make this time last year puns. It's all right.
But no, it has very nice cover art, may I say.
Yes, I love that cover, actually. I had a little bit of a struggle trying to actually get a proper cover out of it, just because things kept falling through and that kind of thing, and I couldn't be happier with that cover.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Is your ear thing broken?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
So, better?
I think so.
Okay.
Anyway, you guys can talk. I'm here. This is not supposed to be.
Just ignore him.
Yeah.
He's not here. He's not even here tonight.
So,
No.
you put out your record. What have you been doing since then? Have you been playing many shows?
I kind of spent last year playing once every week, just trying to get my name out there. Pretty much took any show I could get and just kind of just played as much as I could to anybody I could, and it's worked out pretty good. A lot more people have heard of me at this point than had before, so it's great. I took a little bit of time off from playing and went back to playing only every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks and that kind of thing lately. Although I'm back to the weekly thing again now because I'm hosting Epic Wednesday down at Distortion because Adam Baxter just recently left town.
Okay.
So I took that over for him, and which is also a great thing because it's actually probably how I met Jerry and Ian originally, just seeing them play down there, and I've met a lot of great musicians through there and just made a lot of great contacts, a lot of great friends.
Matt, I believe we actually met when I was playing with my creatively named band, the Ian Foster Band, and you were playing with your band, The Rents, which I believe is a sequel to Rent.
Yes, it is.
That's correct.
That's the second one when they're doing fine.
Right. That's right. They moved out, and now they have multiple rents to pay.
Exactly. Yeah. It actually takes place in the 2000s when they all have decent jobs now.
Right. Okay.
They've given up on the bohemian lifestyle. But yeah, we met back then, and that was years ago. But we never.
But we were enemies then.
Exactly.
We became friends. Epic.
You played folk music, and I didn't like that because I was all rock and roll. I was playing the Pixies, and you were playing Willie Nelson, and then we'd meet in the courtyard for a fight.
That is not factual.
Just want to make sure that people know exactly what it is.
I believe you were playing Pinkerton in its entirety.
That actually happened. I'm pretty sure. I'll start doing that again, actually.
Awesome. So we'll take a little break.
Sure.
And we'll come back. Okay, we're back here on the party
Yes, we
on
are.
CHMR. I'm your host, Warren Gordon.
And I am Chelsea.
And we're going to give the floor to Ian Foster and Jerry Stamp because they have a couple questions for Matthew Hare. Actually, wait, no.
No, Matt was gonna play.
Okay.
So
That was a
close.
preview.
You're so close.
That was a
You almost
preview. we're gonna go to Matt. Matt's gonna play us a song, and then we're gonna give the floor to those guys for some questions. Hopefully, we can get off the air eventually.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not knowing that's doing me in. It's these unanswered calls and awkward silences. And now I'm waiting by the phone, even though you're not at home. I'm just hoping that you're alone and not with another boy. That's got me this way, and my imagination's running wild each and every day. And now I'm waiting by the phone, even though you're not at home. And I'm just hoping that you're alone and not with another boy. That's doing me in. It's these unanswered calls, and now I'm waiting by the phone, even though you're not at home. I'm just hoping that you're alone and not with another boy. And I'll keep waiting by the phone, though I know you're not home. I'm just hoping that you're alone and not with another boy. And not with another boy. And not with another boy. But I know you're with another boy.
Was that a real outro?
That is real. Only one on the record. Oh god.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you guys give Matt for that song?
For that song?
Yeah.
7.5, 6.
I felt the harmonies were great.
The version of the record has an amazing bell choir.
Yes,
Sure.
that was my first question.
First of all, I'd like to point out that I didn't know you guys were going to do that.
We didn't
And
know we were gonna do that.
all I can hear out of the side of my head is you guys going, and I wasn't sure if you were saying things to each other over the song. And then I realized you were singing harmonies.
we were imitating
Go ahead.
that bell part, which,
Oh, yeah.
as we all know, was one of the greatest moments in music in 2012. I'm just wondering who came up with the idea for that on your record.
What was that?
I think that was Jerry.
I don't think that was correct.
That's how I remember it. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. Next
Yeah.
question, Jerry.
I will be fair and say it was actually Ian who came up with it. I just played it.
Okay, sorry. That's how I remember it. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great. SoCan checks in the mail,
I
right?
give you no credit whatsoever. I'm
It's
sorry.
important to know those things, though.
Yeah.
But on to some more serious questions.
Okay.
How do you describe your writing process?
My writing process?
Yes.
Most of my writing process takes place at about 12 at night and forward, usually. Sometimes, for some reason, like every time I get a feeling for a song or something like that, it's always late at night. I rarely ever do writing at, come home supper time, something like that, other than a small snippet. I'll usually like sit down before I go to bed with a guitar and kind of write something out or write a bunch of lyrics and that kind of thing.
So is it like lyrics first, then music, or is it...
I usually do both at the same time, actually. At least get the melody for the lyrics at the same time. A lot of the times I'll usually come up with something during the day, like a melody line and a first couple lyrics to a verse or a chorus or something like that, and then go home and kind of get that down on tape and then work on it later.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the time.
And a follow-up to that
Go
question, Do you usually write like in a very personal style, or you do more like a ceremony as just a storyteller? So you're more of a narrator of an external situation.
Most of the time, it's pretty personal. I'm pretty sure, but I guess. I mean, a lot of people's stories usually come through. They're usually the inspiration to get me going and talking about my personal story. A lot of that record is actually very personal, and with a lot of relationships I've been through and stuff like that. Even though some of those started as me talking to someone and them telling me a story that kind of related back to me, and I kind of used that as the backdrop to kind of kick off.
All right, Matt.
He's got a smile on his face.
When I visit matthare.com,
Yes.
which I do regularly.
Which you should all go to right now.
I've tweeted the link, but it's spelled as you would imagine. I find a blonde you holding an upright bass. I'm just wondering why you've never played this bass at shows. And just so people in the room can see, I'm going to show Matt the picture of him
That is me.
from matthare.com. Just wondering about that. Can you tell me about that? It's a beautiful upright, by the way.
I'm sad that you brought it up, actually, because that man is my nemesis.
Really?
I usually don't like to talk about it in public, but me and him have an ongoing feud over the name Matt Hare.
Is it Mirror World Matt Hare, or is it actually...
No, it's not Mirror World Matt Hare. That's a different Matt Hare, actually. He doesn't have a website.
Okay.
We don't talk about him, though.
Okay. He wears only black eyes.
Exactly.
Okay.
He is like Johnny Cash in that way.
I see. Jerry?
Matthew, what animal are you most like, and why?
Eagle.
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 I
Yeah.
was expecting you to say wolf, but
Well, yeah. It's because I'm hungry like the wolf, isn't it?
that too. But
Yeah.
why the eagle?
I don't know. I've always felt a connection with the eagle. Always.
That's
All I'm going to give you.
That's
Yeah.
great.
I'm sorry. What? What do you want? What do you want here?
Can we go
What
to
do you?
commercial or
What do you? No.
Really? It's not because you like take it easy or you stay at the Hotel California? Nothing. You're not going to give us anything here about
Because
the
your
Eagles.
fingers are like talons,
Just-
or you like to soar above.
Okay, fine. It's because I like to take it to the limit. At least one more
You
time.
can't
Wow.
just do a pun like that after he already set you up.
Why can't? Why?
I was trying to help you, man, but you wasted it on take it to the limit.
What's wrong with Take It to the Limit? I love that song.
I know you do.
I know, but keep going. Come on.
All right.
What else
I
you
would
got
have
here?
said something more like I like to fly places really fast and get there in a New York minute.
Not bad. Not
I
bad.
had a little bit of setup.
No.
I feel like all of this is wasted time. Anyway, okay. This is sort of a follow-up question. This is not actually wasted time. This is great. This is a good song. Anyway,
They're the ones who are wasting, is what they're trying to say.
this is sort of a follow-up to my previous question.
Okay.
On the second page of the Google search terms for Matthew Hare, I find you as a much older Matthew Hare, PhD, Department of Natural Resources, Cornell University, with a heading for your essay on, quote, mechanisms maintaining sharp genetic declines in marine species with long-lived larvae. The essay goes on to say that patterns of clinical genetic variation in marine species provide for informative spatial contrasts that help identify demographic and evolutionary mechanisms maintaining the pattern. My question to you is, how did you invent the necessary time travel machine to go forward in time?
That's actually complicated, and I actually have a patent on that right now, so I don't want to talk about it on the radio.
I think that you're just avoiding the answer. Can you give it? You have to give us something here. Come on.
Listen, time travel is not something to be trifled with, and the people of CHMR are not going to be given time travel here tonight. I mean, we could do anything. If we had time travel right now, we could go back and make sure that this interview never happened. Which I guess, for some reason, no.
But why did
I
you
don't
become a
want that
marine
much.
biologist? You had all this power, and you became a marine biologist. I mean, there's nothing against marine biologists. I have some good friends who are, but like you don't even like fish.
He's not any friends. Everybody who
I have at
afraid
least one. Okay, hi Victoria.
Everybody-
Anyway,
He made that name up.
You did. Listen, we all love marine biologists, all right?
but why are you one in the future? I don't understand future. Don't make me
Because I
look
can-
up the future
because
Matt
I-
Hare picture like I did the other one.
Because I can do anything in the future, Ian, and I've already, in 10 years, I will have mastered music. I will have my Grammy. I'll have my EGOT, all right? I'm going to get all that sorted out, and then I'm moving on to marine biology. I mean, I can do anything.
Can you tell the people at home what an EGOT is? Just-
Yes, that is an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
It's true. It's fact.
That's a
it's
thing.
a thing.
It's only
Wikipedia.
once or twice, I believe.
Who's got one? Oprah?
Oh, we got one of everything.
It's true.
Whoopi Goldberg has one, I do
She gives them
believe.
away.
Can I ask you a connected question since we're on the subject? Because I just said that the name of your essay was Mechanisms Maintaining Sharp Genetic Declines in Marine Species with Long-Lived Larvae. Does that mean that I gave you the idea for future Matt Hare, who will then write this essay?
This is getting far too complicated.
Probably.
I feel like we just broke the timeline.
Maybe. That's what I'm questioning you about.
Is it broken or is it skewed?
It's probably askew.
There's a big difference. In keeping with that sort of theme, you were
The theme of marine biology?
No, the time travel thing.
Oh, gosh.
You were kind of big on yourself and Ian were both big on me starting to watch Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yes.
Recently, which I watched when I was in high school. And that was fun enough, whatever.
Yes.
But you guys were very adamant that I learn more about it, rewatch it on Netflix. And
Yes.
wrap my head around it. So I want to ask you, what Star Trek character do you most relate to, and why?
Ooh, good question.
See, I knew that one.
That was good.
That's right. Oh, good
Why
friend.
can't you ask questions like that?
Well, listen, I got some coming up.
I doubt it. What question? Well, I mean, in a perfect world, you always want to be Picard, because Picard was the perfect captain. Really,
Kind of lonely though.
he was
Lonely at the top.
exactly. But that's what this album's about, Jerry. See how I tied that back together?
That's pretty good.
This is the album that Picard would have written.
You think so?
I think so.
Not enough Luke for my taste. He would have had
This-
harpsichord in his
actually,
record,
there
right?
would have been more flute.
He would have had a harpsichord in his record.
But Picard's the guy you want to be. He's lonely, but he knows what he's doing. He's got conviction. I feel like that's me.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little sidebar here, and we guys have a little contest on the go for the fans at home listening, and I believe in making puns on Facebook. Also, there was a moment in the recording of this record where Ian and I were constructing a brilliant double time harpsichord solo, and Matt shot it down. We spent like 2 hours working on this thing. Matt came back in the room.
They locked me out of the
We
room.
wouldn't let him listen until we had it done, pretty much. And then he came in and he vetoed it. He said he didn't want it. So I just like the world to know that this could have been
The greatest synth pop record ever made.
well, the return to harpsichord in popular music.
Fair enough.
I had to tell you, Jerry, as the person in charge of those tracks, it's still on there, just really low. I just couldn't cut it. I just couldn't. It's still there. It's just really low.
We could do an in-your-face remix in about 2 hours,
So what you're saying is you want me to put out an EP next week?
or just a free single on Facebook.
Harpsichord remix.
I'm going to have the party play that harpsichord part.
Harpsichord?
Settle down.
We're on the radio, yeah. There's no mistakes on the radio.
All right, Matt, your next question. I'm gonna throw you a bone here as a real question. Talk to me about your writing process and how it's changed. How are the songs on this record different than the songs on like the past EPs and stuff like that you did with yourself or just with the band?
Well, actually, it changed a lot because originally, when I was playing with the Rents, it was always written on, I wrote the songs on an acoustic guitar, but I knew that eventually it would have to translate over to an electric guitar and a full band. But once I started actually playing acoustically, I needed songs that would translate acoustically. You can't write songs that have great, like organ solos. You can't write songs that have great string sections if you're going to play them and no one's going to hear it.
Or harpsichord.
Or harpsichord. Just let it go, man. It's been a year.
Do it.
That happened a year ago.
Musical genius doesn't die.
That's true.
Wait.
But yeah, that's pretty much how it's changed. I write now for, I guess I write for playing it live, something that I can translate live. But I mean, I've also got ideas in the back of my head for how I want to record those songs and that kind of thing. And I've got a bunch of new songs now that actually, I'd say they probably resemble band songs more in my head than they do the more acoustic vibe that we did with this record. And when we went in to do this record, it just seemed like a natural progression to making it more an acoustic-based record with just a little bit of filler around it, a little bit of piano, a little bit of percussion, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think I might be moving away from that again now and just trying to write like that, write more full band at this point.
Are you going to be putting together a band then? Are we expecting to see Matthew Hare and the Something
Somethings.
Others?
It'll be wrecked.
I would say Cats instead of Rent this time. Matthew Hare and the Cats.
Yeah, cats are pretty
I was going to go with the producers.
They're all over the internet.
Matthew Hare and the producers.
People will get confused.
Or Matthew
if they're
Hare and
talking about
Matthew Hare and the Book of Mormon.
Matthew Hare, the producer Cats.
The producer cats.
Producer Cats.
That's not bad.
Good.
It's like the Stray Cats, but they know what they're doing. with the producing side of
Lots
things.
money. And it could be like a
Brian
double
Sester's in the
entendre,
band.
like producing the record, producing the show.
I like it. Cheery, ask another question.
What type of tree would you be?
Oak. No follow-up.
That's it?
That's
Just
it.
like
That's all you get.
that?
We talked about this.
We did. You said don't ask me any questions. So I wrote it down.
Okay.
All right, Matt, I'm going to have to go for my closing question, even though it might not be the closing question. It's just that time. CBC Music called your album this time last year a, quote, bottling of Hare's energetic, emotional, and frenetic live performances. Now, Google's definition of energetic.
Hold on. Can you hear that? That's the sound of every single person in the world turning the radio off.
For those who may have just tuned in, CBC Music called Matt Hare's album. So once again, the phrase "a bottling of Hare's energetic, emotional, and frenetic live performances." Google's definition of energetic is, quote, powerfully operative, forceful. Google's definition of emotional is arousing or characterized by intense feeling. And Google's definition of frenetic is fast in a rather wild and uncontrolled way. Thus, would it be safe to say, Matt Hare, that your live performances involve forced yet uncontrolled arousal?
I am fine with that, and I will be adding it to my bio. I'm going to actually get little stickers done up for the CDs.
Can you ask CBC if they can re-quote you with the new variations on those terms?
Yes, I will.
Yeah. I think they'll do it.
Okay.
Talk to Gian directly.
I was, yeah.
Pretty sexy.
Cut out the middle man.
We're going to take a break. We'll come back. All right, we're back here on Party on CHMR.
Yes, we are.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the madness.
To the madness. How are you guys hanging in there?
I'm doing all right now, actually. I got a break.
We're doing good. I just got a tweet from Elisa who said, our friend Lisa?
Yes.
Who said, did Matthew Hare just become a harpsichord playing marine biologist? I will marry him this time next year. # swoon.
I think she wins the
She may have just
CD?
won herself a CD.
I'm reading that tweet for that reason, but also as clarification, Lisa, I was the one who played the harpsichord, and Matt is not even really giving up much information about the marine biology thing,
It's in
so
the future. You don't give away information about the future.
fair enough.
You've seen Star Trek. You know.
Well, that was good. You got another question?
You got-
That's good. No, I was
You
going to
got-
let you play. I mean, I do have other questions, but if you'd rather play first, that's okay.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll go
Okay,
right ahead.
sure.
All right.
She lights another cigarette, quotes the things he said to her. She's just trying to forget these images of what they were. She hasn't done it yet. She's getting closer every day, and each night she sleeps alone. Each morning you can hear her say, if this doesn't kill me, I'll be stronger than you'll ever know. It's a future that thrills me, all this longing for letting go. And now that it's over, I've got time to be on my own. If this doesn't kill me, she wants another cigarette. She can't stop staring at her feet. sitting in the dark. There were people laughing down the street. She found a tie that once was his. It took her back a month or two. She knew just where he was, just waiting in the other room. If this doesn't kill me, I'll be stronger than you'll ever know. It's the future that thrills me. All this longing for letting go. And now that it's over, I've got time to be on my own. If this doesn't kill me. And then a girl down the street screams that she's in love with this guy. I look up and a smile is crossing her face. If this doesn't kill me, I'll be stronger than you'll ever know. It's the future that thrills me. All this longing for letting go. And now that it's over, I've got time to be on my own. If this doesn't kill me. If this doesn't kill me, I'll be stronger than you'll ever know. It's a future that thrills me. All this longing for letting go. Now that it's over, I've got time to be on my own. If this doesn't kill me. If this doesn't kill me.
Nice. So I have a question about that song, actually. So the song is about, I believe, as you explained it to us before,
Yes.
how the song is about you and a girl that you know, and how she had gone through a bad breakup around the same time you did. You guys were kind of having a conversation with each other, and somewhat comforting each other.
Yes.
Does this girl know the song is about her?
She doesn't actually.
She doesn't.
No, she does not.
Can you say what her name is right now on the air?
Did anything romantic happen between the two of you?
It did not.
No.
She had gone through a breakup, and she had just gotten back into another relationship with another guy. But we were still going through the bad breakup stories, as you would, yeah. And it kind of came from that. It was more inspired by just bad breakup stories and the fact that everybody goes through, countless bad breakups before they find that right person, that kind of thing. Yep.
Was this a girl that you were interested in? Was this an unrequited love situation?
It was not. It was.
Okay.
It was a friend situation.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Tell us her Twitter handle. No. Okay.
Is she
Phone
single
number.
now?
I don't know actually.
Oh, I haven't kept in touch, eh?
I'll check on it. I'll get back to you.
So it wasn't romantic, but you didn't keep in touch.
Well, we kept in touch, but we're kind of like those friends that see each other once a year, that kind of thing. We don't talk that much anymore, so we were catching up, which is where that whole exchange came from. What do you?
All right, Matt. Here's another question. We're currently at Memorial University.
Yes.
That's not the question.
I was going to say that was
Mun
your best
for
one yet.
short. All right. Interesting fact that maybe not everybody here or the people on the radio know. You also work at Mun.
That is true.
I've known this fact personally and you for many years.
Yes.
What is it you do here? You're basically the Barney Stinson of Mun, you know? It's sort of like, we know you have a job, but we have no idea what it is.
I like to keep it that
People
way.
on Radioland, I'll just like to let you know that Matt has maybe seen like 2, maybe 3 episodes of How I Met Your Mother. So the metaphor of him being Barney Stinson is kind of lost on him.
That's right,
So
but it's
that's
for you
really
guys.
funny,
Yeah,
so
that's
we're not
right.
gonna tell him that means.
That's right.
Well, I know the generalities of the show.
Yes.
I know that I haven't slept with half of Mun, if that's what you're trying
That
to
was
get
not
across.
that.
That's just disgusting. Why would
I know, I
That's
don't-
why.
Why
What?
would you bring that up?
I don't go to work in a suit.
What's
That's
wrong with you?
Is that another question, or is that just a sign?
That's a follow-up after, but answer this one first.
Okay. I am a computer programmer during the day. No one really knows what that means, but essentially I keep the lights on and make sure that if anyone gets a grade, that they get the grade they're supposed to get, and we don't lose all those grades when people go off and try and get jobs and they come back and go, so I did 4 years at Mun and I haven't got anything to show for it because you guys lost everything.
So this is all in the context of you being a World of Warcraft programmer, is what you're
That
saying.
is you added that in.
Okay.
It's
It's not. That's not the kind of
No, they
program.
don't let us
Okay.
play WoW at work anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
anymore,
never.
okay.
Well, they did.
Anyway,
They did.
there
They
was a
did.
period of time that it was okay.
So you write the software? Is that what you're saying? Like, how does...
I do a lot of editing. There's not a lot of new creation, although there is a couple things. Like sometimes if someone over in the math department wants a program or wants a report that says how many people graduated last year with a math degree, I can do up a report that brings back that.
Is that actually a report or just a number, though?
It's a report. It's a report,
Is that
Jared. It's a
report?
report.
Do you email
have to
them with the
report it.
number 9 or something? Like, how does that work? Is
No,
that...
it's a
It's a
do you
written
not understand
report.
how reports work?
Well, not for a question like that, no.
It was-
How many people graduated
It's
last
something-
year? 27.
But it's a
No, I need a
it's a-
report for them. Well, there was 27 people. 3 were Hispanic.
We don't keep track of that.
Whatever. That's what you do. You're actually a profile. Right?
I had no idea Mun had such a big department.
Match.com.
I didn't want to let out that we actually do Match.com side projects, but yeah. How many people are single and have math degrees? That's what I do. All of them, yeah, all of them.
Jerry, do you have another
Do
question?
you have anything else?
I don't really. I'm sure I can think of one right off the top of my head if I want.
Okay. Well,
Let's see. You made a comment earlier about how you don't wear plaid shirts.
Yes.
Why? Why your aversion away from plaid shirts?
I don't know. It's just they're too warm.
You don't feel flannel on your skin.
That too. It's too warm, Jerry.
I understand. I don't wanna
I overheat quickly.
how would you describe your fashion
I'm energetic,
sense?
so I'm kind of
And frenetic.
and frenetic, and I don't want to overheat. So you can't wear plaid. You just sweat to death. That's a fact.
How would you describe your
Science.
fashion sense, Matt?
Energetic?
It's energetic.
That's it.
Definitely frenetic.
Definitely frenetic.
Okay.
Sleek.
Sleek.
Oh,
Singer-songwriter haute couture.
okay.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
I was gonna go with laziness, but yeah, couture. Yeah. Yeah.
How would they
Thank you for that
say?
save.
How would they say haute couture back home in Grand Bank?
I was trying to think how to drop the H. So it's just pretty much haute couture.
Okay.
Either that or haute couture. It's amazing how many people just can't pronounce just French things when Saint Pierre is right next door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big
love it.
fan of La Marchand Road.
The Merchant.
Cotto Gratin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good.
Okay. We're gonna have to
Wrap this up.
wrap it up there.
Smart.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Listen, thank you for having us and putting up with whatever this was.
You can where can we check out Matthew Hare? Where can we
I'm on. I see.
MattHare.com.
It's not MattHare.com. Don't ever go on there. No, I'm on Twitter at Matthew_Hare. I'm on Facebook at Matthew Hare Solo, and I'm at Epic Wednesday every week at Distortion.
Cool.
Lots of great singer-songwriters down there. Everybody playing a lot of local music and playing a lot of original music, that kind of thing. So it's always great. So feel free to come down there.
Cool. Awesome. So thanks for coming in.
Thank you again.